Being the President of the United States. The ultimate dream job, right? Well, not exactly. Okay, you get to sit in the Oval Office, command the military, have your own jet, and be the most powerful person on the planet. But behind the glitz and glamour of state dinners and motorcades lies a job so stressful that it makes running a country feel more like running on a hamster wheel. Today, we're diving into all the headaches, heartaches, and outright absurdities that come with being POTUS. Buckle up because this is everything wrong with being the President of the United States. You age faster than a banana on a hot day. Let's start with the most obvious. Being president seems to accelerate the aging process. Have you ever noticed how every president enters office looking like a fresh, enthusiastic leader and leaves looking like they've survived the apocalypse? Obama went from a smooth, youthful guy to someone who looked like he just fought off Thanos. It's almost as if the White House is a black hole for youth and vitality. Forget the nuclear codes. Can someone get these guys a good skincare routine? The never-ending criticism. No matter what you do as president, half the country is going to hate you for it. You could end world hunger, cure cancer, and adopt a puppy all in one day, and people would still find something to complain about. Did you see the way he held that puppy? Total amateur. When you're president, it seems like you can never win.
Listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one. The media tears you apart, Twitter roasts you daily, and political rivals scrutinize every move like it's a high-stakes chess game. Seriously, when does this man get a day off? You need to know everything about everything. As president, you're expected to be an expert on literally everything. One moment you're discussing foreign policy with NATO, the next you're pretending to understand climate science, and then you're asked to weigh in on the economy. Let's be honest, nobody can be that well-rounded. No wonder every president has a fleet of advisors. They need them to translate all the jargon into normal human language. It's like being back in school, except this time, your report card is plastered on every news outlet. 24/7 surveillance? Say goodbye to privacy. Being president means saying goodbye to privacy. Forever. You're always surrounded by Secret Service agents, even when you're trying to sneak a midnight snack from the White House kitchen.
Well, I just want to mingle with the American people, talk with some real folks, maybe get a Diet Coke or something.
Want to go for a casual stroll in the park? Think again. The entire area will be locked down faster than you can say code red. Your emails, phone calls, and even the way you wave at crowds is analyzed. Who needs freedom when you've got a 24-hour security detail, right? Making tough decisions under pressure. Imagine having to make decisions that could literally change the course of history while dealing with constant pressure from the public, Congress, and your own party. One wrong move, and you're plastered on the front page of every newspaper. Oh, and let's not forget the nuclear football, the briefcase that contains the codes for launching nuclear missiles. No big deal, right? Just the fate of humanity in your hands. No pressure at all. Balancing a never-ending to-do list. As president, your to-do list is never, ever done. You think running errands on a Saturday is stressful. Try juggling the economy, healthcare, international relations, and natural disasters, all before your second cup of coffee. There's no clocking out at 5 p.m. It's a relentless cycle of crises and legislation, with each new day bringing a fresh set of problems. And if you're hoping for a quiet weekend, don't hold your breath. There's always something waiting to explode. Yeah, sometimes literally. The inauguration outfit pressure. Imagine the pressure of picking your outfit for Inauguration Day, knowing that the entire world will be watching and judging your fashion choices. It's not just a jacket and tie, it's history. Get it right and you're praised for looking presidential. Get it wrong and you'll be the subject of memes and late-night talk show jokes for years to come. Is it too much to ask for a day where the focus isn't on your wardrobe? Balancing world peace with petty politics. While presidents have to navigate complex international relationships, they also have to deal with the most petty political squabbles back home. One day you're negotiating nuclear deals with North Korea, and the next, you're mediating a spat between two senators over the color of napkins at a dinner event. It's like being both a world leader and a kindergarten teacher. Who knew running a country also meant managing egos and keeping the peace in your own backyard? The awkward handshake diplomacy. As president, you're expected to have diplomatic skills, but nobody talks about the real challenge: awkward handshakes with world leaders. Whether it's too firm, too limp, or lasts way too long, the world will analyze every single handshake you have on the international stage.
Oh my God! His handshake! It's limp!
Just ask Donald Trump or Emmanuel Macron, both of whom have made headlines for their bizarre handshakes. It's not just policy that matters, it's the grip and how long you hold it. You can't have a normal day off. Remember what it was like to have a day off? Yeah, the presidency doesn't do those. Even when you're on vacation, the world doesn't stop spinning. You're either being briefed on international crises or you're dealing with natural disasters and public health scares. And while you're trying to sip a piña colada at Camp David, the media is just waiting for you to trip on the golf course. Every single move you make is scrutinized. No pressure. The constant fear of being impeached. No matter how well you think you're doing, there's always the looming fear of impeachment hanging over your head. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, political opponents are always looking for reasons to take you down. It's like living in a high-stakes game of Survivor. But instead of being voted off an island, you could be dragged through a lengthy, embarrassing legal process. It doesn't help that scandals, real or fabricated, are never far away when you're in office. The nuclear codes stress. You thought remembering your email password was stressful? Try holding the nuclear codes. The president has to constantly be ready to make decisions that could end life as we know it. Talk about pressure. One bad day and the fate of the world is in your hands. Literally. And don't forget, there's always someone watching, making sure you don't accidentally spill coffee on the briefcase containing those world-ending codes. Not exactly the most relaxing part of the job. Every word you say is analyzed. When you're the president, every word you say is dissected, debated, and twisted by the media and the public. You could make an offhand comment about your favorite snack, and suddenly there are conspiracy theories about your stance on agriculture.
Supposedly have the best pizza. We'll let you know about it in a half hour. Thank you, everybody, very much.
And heaven forbid you make a verbal slip-up during a speech. One wrong phrase and you'll be meme fodder for weeks. No pressure, Mr. President, but maybe think twice before making a joke about pineapples on pizza. Dealing with Congress, the world's most dysfunctional family reunion. Trying to pass legislation as president is like herding cats. If those cats were argumentative and had personal vendettas against each other. Working with Congress is a nightmare of gridlock, filibusters, and political grandstanding. It's like being the parent in a never-ending family feud where nobody agrees on anything, but everyone wants to be heard. And let's not forget the constant partisan bickering. It's a miracle anything ever gets done. Campaigns, the world's longest job interview. Running for president is basically the world's longest, most grueling job interview. It's a non-stop marathon of handshakes, speeches, debates, and town halls. And just when you think it's over after Election Day, you've got 4 more years of people scrutinizing every promise you made during the campaign. If job interviews were like presidential campaigns, nobody would ever apply for anything. Your family gets dragged into it. When you become president, it's not just you under the microscope. Your entire family gets caught up in the whirlwind, too. Your spouse, your kids, even your dog, they all get judged, critiqued, and written about in the tabloids. Want a little family privacy? Sorry, the American public wants to know what your teenage kid is wearing today. It's like living in a fishbowl with millions of people watching your every move. Public approval ratings. Approval ratings. The president's ultimate popularity contest. 1 week, you're soaring at 60%. The next, you're plummeting faster than a lead balloon. It's like being in high school all over again. Except instead of classmates, it's an entire nation judging your every decision. And don't even get started on the constant polling. You could have a groundbreaking international achievement, and someone's still going to ask if your approval rating dropped because you wore the wrong tie during your speech. The never-ending State of the Union speech. The State of the Union is a tradition that dates back centuries, but does it really have to be so long? It's essentially the president's time to brag about accomplishments while half the room claps and the other half sits in icy silence. Every year, it's the same. Applause lines, awkward camera angles, and an entire country trying not to fall asleep.
Thundered, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Now.
Can someone please get a teleprompter with a fast-forward button? The blame game never ends. One of the most frustrating parts of being president? Yup, it's the blame game. No matter what happens, good or bad, you're going to get blamed for it. Stock market crashes? Your fault. Unemployment rates go up? Totally on you. Heck, if it rains too much during summer, someone's bound to blame you for that too. It's like playing a game where the rules constantly change, and you're always the one to blame. Dealing with the press, the world's toughest critics? The media plays a huge role in the presidency, and while some of it can be constructive, let's be real. It's mostly just a headache.
What the heck are you talking about?
Every word, action, and facial expression gets analyzed by news outlets. And no matter how hard you try, you're bound to say something that the press blows out of proportion. You could cure world hunger, and they'd still ask, but what about that one time you said hamburger instead of cheeseburger? Handling international crises at 3 a.m. World leaders don't exactly work on your schedule, so as president, expect to be woken up at 3 a.m. for an international crisis. Whether it's a military conflict, a natural disaster, or some trade negotiation gone wrong, you're constantly dealing with problems that need immediate attention.
Our guy is 10 miles from the 4th Corps of the Iraqi Republican Guard.
Who needs sleep when you have the entire world depending on you? Coffee must become your best friend very quickly. Living in a historical monument. Living in the White House sounds glamorous until you realize it's basically a 230-year-old museum. Sure, it's iconic, but it's also a bit like living in a really fancy Airbnb where you can't touch half the stuff. You're surrounded by history, which is cool, but try explaining to your kids why they can't skateboard in the Lincoln bedroom. There's no place to really unwind when you're living in a national landmark. The non-stop travel schedule. Air Force One is cool and all, but the constant travel? Well, not so much. As president, you're expected to hop from country to country, meeting world leaders, attending summits, and making speeches. While it sounds glamorous, all that jet setting gets old real fast. Let's not forget the jet lag, the time zone changes, and trying to be diplomatic when you're running on 4 hours of sleep. Not to mention, you still have to deal with the regular nonsense back home while you're shaking hands in Paris. The haters are loud, even when you're not listening. As president, you quickly learn that people have strong opinions about you, and they're not afraid to shout them from the rooftops. Haters gonna hate, as the saying goes. But when you're the leader of the free world, they're going to hate very loudly. No matter what you do, someone's always going to think you're doing it wrong. It takes a thick skin to handle the constant barrage of criticism. Just remember, you can't please everyone. The never-ending stream of meetings. If you thought your regular job had too many meetings, just imagine what it's like for the president. Every day is a parade of briefings, strategy sessions, and more meetings than you can count. You're expected to be in the know about everything, and that means endless discussions with experts, advisors, and world leaders. Hope you like sitting in uncomfortable chairs, because that's where you'll spend a good chunk of your presidency. The post-presidency hangover. You'd think that once you leave office, you'd get to kick back and relax, right? Nope. Even after you're no longer president, you're expected to write books, give speeches, and attend countless events. And don't forget, every new president will probably blame you for everything that's going wrong. So even when you're out of the White House, you're never really off the hook. It's like leaving a job but still being held responsible for everything that goes wrong after you're gone. So there you have it. Being the President of the United States is far from the glamorous gig it appears to be. Between the stress, the scrutiny, and the sheer amount of work, it's no wonder every president ends up looking like they've aged a decade in just 4 years. But hey, someone's gotta do it, right? Having said that, do you want to be the president? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.